Spider-Man.
Loading screens.
The video game. There are loading screens. The video game.
Loading screens. The video game. The anime.
That's not a thing yet.
Wait. We can go further. Loading screens. The video game. The anime. The Netflix reboot.
I changed the costumes again.
Yeah.
I gave him the Universe Captain Universe outfit.
Use that to get the shock back up there.
So, in this part, future Peter Parker, that's the final boss, throws you down a garbage chute. So you have to turn on the anti-gravity trash disposal
This is a bad idea. It'll be the last
Thing?
so you can, guess what? Fly back up the way you came.
Oh, alright.
So if you thought falling was cool, we're falling up this time!
Yeah. It's not flying. Man, can I just say, one of my favorite parts of this finale video has been how very obvious it was that you didn't want to play certain parts of the game. Because anytime we get hit with a slideshow, I'm like, yeah, he was frustrated when he made this. Woo!
Yeah, the fire's hot.
Turns out, I don't know what kind of industrial design this is supposed to represent, but
Well, the way their trash compactor works, also you just go through that part, and through that part. That's the way you play. That's actually how it goes. And
Yeah.
that part.
oh,
And that part.
uh-huh.
Is that after the trash goes down, you first throw it back up, and then you light the entire tunnel on fire.
Oh, instead of just like a chute to a crushing part, they decided to get kind of
Nonsense.
a little stylistic, we'll say, just to give them the benefit of the doubt. But it was very important to design that one person be able to navigate this entire run simply by jumping through. That's how they maintain the chutes, actually. Just every weekend, janitor comes by after hours, puts on a flight suit, just dives right in with a broom.
She's really good. She can do it in just 2 jumps.
Yeah, it's like combining extreme sports and chimney sweep, basically.
I wanted to share my frustration with y'all.
He did a very good job. I love how he catches every single one of these face first. This is the part of my body that can hit these that will do the least amount of damage.
Well, don't forget he is wearing the Captain Universe suit.
Oh.
Frankly, he should be able to hit everything. I mean, when Spider-Man gets the power cosmic, the only thing that can stand in his way are slow-moving metal grates.
Yeah.
Or the Tri-Sentinel.
Or just whatever villain of the week they decided was going to be the big bad guy for that arc. Spider-Man is pretty useless with the power cosmic.
Yeah. He wastes it on a Sentinel.
So dumb.
He did fight the Hulk once with it. Punched him into lower orbit.
Okay. Fair.
Hey, do you remember this part?
Nope.
Well, now it's full of zombies!
Yeah.
In case we weren't ripping enough off of Resident Evil.
These are zombies, aren't they?
Yeah.
Jesus.
These were the things I was fighting to protect those DNA carts.
Yeah.
They are just experimenting on humans.
The guy who did this really, really wanted to work on Resident Evil.
Well, then he shouldn't have worked at Activision.
That's what it is.
One more. So I was going to give him the Poison outfit instead of this outfit. Do you know who Poison is?
If you can destroy it, the quantum causality should wipe out any trace of
Okay, well, he's shaking his head no. Oh, I also changed his outfit to the best one.
Is it? What is that? It looks like it's a sweatshirt.
It's a sweatshirt, right? Okay, so on Spider-Man issue 600, Spider-Man sees a vision of himself in the future. He's on the run from the cops. He wears that kind of like really like easygoing outfit, kind of like, you know, reversible.
All right, I've got to interrupt you again because it occurred to me that the question as it was posed was, why is Spider-Man wearing a sweatshirt? And the answer started with, in the far off distant time of, like, the future.
Yeah.
I'm like, but it couldn't have just been he's cold.
No.
Okay.
Because he's on the run all the time. But he still fights crime.
Right.
Anyway, that's like the outfit he chooses to wear because it's a lot easier to kind of like sneak around in.
Oh.
Because I think by that point, like all superheroes are pretty much like outlawed.
Okay. So he went with the Letterman jacket there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he dies while wearing it.
Oh. Huh.
And speaking of what if, okay, so do you remember when Spider-Man died and then came back as the other with like Spider-Man, like spider powers? Like he had like better spider sense. He could talk to spiders. He could shoot organic webbing. Although that was actually a different time where he died and came out of a weapon.
Vaguely, a lot of what you're saying sounds, but I can't tell if this sounds like something that would happen in a comic book, or no. I remember reading this.
Both. All right.
Okay.
So, in the regular timeline, Spider-Man accepts the gift of the other, comes back as Peter Parker with special powers, and then they basically take that back later on.
Right.
And the what if, Spider-Man not only Spider-Man rejects the power of the other completely and just stays dead, and then the symbiote goes to his corpse and reanimates it.
Gross.
Becoming an entirely new person called Poison.
Whoa, that's gross.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Poison has like these like carnage claws he can make that can actually pierce Luke Cage.
Wow. That's sharp.
It's pretty sharp.
Or who knows what could happen.
But anyway, MJ turns him down, so he gets really upset, so then he makes a baby symbiote and throws it on a Gwen Stacy corpse. And that's where the story ended.
This is like creepily close to necrophilia. This entire concept just feels really...
It's also kind of incest, because like that means that the symbiote made the baby that it's going to attach to the person that it loves.
Oh, gross. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I'm going to do something really cool here that I wanted to show off.
All right. I'm ready to be impressed.
Okay, so the door is locked, and it's the kind of lock that can only be taken out with a missile.
Yeah. Swing in. Boom.
I felt like a cool guy.
Got right in and got it. Very
Normally
nice.
you would try and take out every enemy, clear it out, and then open up a path. No.
Now, I can appreciate just ignoring enemies. Boom.
And again, a lot of enemies ignored.
Yeah.
At this point, like you don't even have to clear out the rooms. You can just kind of go for it.
Very nice. That's something I would like about this game.
Guess it was inevitable, though. I mean,
So that's future Peter Parker, who's making fun of boss
He
fights.
used to be the greatest of them all.
I still am, Sport. The one, the only Spider-Man. Except no substitutes, including you.
You have to listen to reason.
No, I...
Their voice actors are just
That's
way
one
too
of the
similar
joys of
for me to
being
tell
in
who is
charge.
Miguel
So
and who
if you
is
wanna make this
Peter.
personal,
Yeah.
You can join me in
They both sound like Spider-Man. Look at that ass, damn! Okay, it kind of deflated there at the end, but that was ridiculous.
Piece of work. Why? What happened? Meeting up in the gateway room.
Look at him.
Really started
There's something wrong with that butt.
Like you said.
Like,
Began there. And
it's like he's got droopy ass on the left cheek.
Oh yeah,
It's just one ass cheek is bigger than the other.
it's hard modeling butts. By the way, did I tell you the last one was the last one?
Miguel.
Oh.
Oh, no, it kind of is. Don't worry, you're fine.
Okay.
Just in case I blow up the universe, I just want to tell you, it's been fun. Have faith. I'm almost positive this will work.
I'm gonna fix everything
Okay.
by
I get
fighting
it.
two separate bosses in two separate timelines in the very same room.
Yeah, that'll do it. Probably.
I'm winning.
It makes as much sense as anything else.
Long enough for this to
Are you just saying that because comic books or because video games? Do you even know at this point? Has the line started to blur for you? I have to know.
I just don't know what to expect out of this game, but The one thing I can't expect is that it doesn't have to make any sense whatsoever.
So the trick to beat this guy is to make him hit the ground so that these poles come out,
Yeah.
and then it has to wrap around the poles so it could shock him.
Uh-huh.
Try cutting loose a tentacle. Wait, we can do that? Worth a try.
All right, well, I'll buy it. I accept.
Choke's getting tired.
Also, I wasn't very good at this part at first.
Just kind of slowly rambling towards you with all of his eyeballs just wide open.
Yeah,
Essentially.
I mean, it would be really dangerous if it could teleport or something.
Yeah.
Or launch its tentacles through space and time. So I don't think there's been a good boss fight yet in this game.
No. I get where they got the kind of cool tentacle monster theme, you know, because it's Dr. Octopus and Anti-Venom. But I don't understand where they got the teleportation thing. It really feels... It feels like they had everything ready and they just didn't have time to put in a finishing touch and make it look like those are actually going into the floor. So they added a special effect.
Oh, I gotcha.
Like
a way to cut corners.
Yeah, like that should have been him just smashing his tentacles into the ground and then letting them come out where Spider-Man is, but they couldn't animate it in time to make it look realistic. So they're just like, oh, he just, you know, he can go through space now. He can open portals.
Because
It's
magic.
fine.
What's happening? I'm about to reach the gateway rope.
So you still got to punches.
Hang on. Lateral. Try cutting loose a tentacle.
Are those giant web fists?
Yeah.
Huh.
Luckily, you don't have to press O for this part.
Very nice.
Just throw the tentacle into the time gate, it's fine.
I believe I had an appointment.
Luckily, I cleared my schedule for you. I'm sorry it's come to this, but
I mean, that is a cool looking suit, though.
It's pretty interesting. Like, I feel like whoever was on like character design had a lot more fun with this than the atrocity.
Yeah.
I'm absorbing all the quantum particles being unleashed. I'll reshape the timeline any way I wish long before it collapses. Think of it as playing dice with the universe. Einstein would have approved.
No, he wouldn't have.
Also, what I don't understand, why is he wearing a mask? It's not an actor who's being paid to have his face on screen.
Iron Man's old playbook.
Good question.
Some kind of iron spider outfit.
No, you're not. It's a spider slayer.
Oh, you called it.
God. That's nothing like the Iron Spider. Also, I like that they made his legs little mandibles.
Yeah.
What the?
Friends of yours?
So despite this whole time, future boss Peter doesn't know about the atrocity tentacles.
Right, also he has access to none of Peter's memories, I guess, because Peter would have known about this.
But he said earlier that he has all of his memories.
But
he said it.
But
He said it.
I can't argue with that logic.
I don't know what side I'm arguing. So this part's stupid. You have to make him like fall onto these little portals.
Ow.
And then he gets grabbed by the anti-venom atrocity, so he's losing his powers. But you're fine.
What?
That's why it has to be anti-venom, so that the final boss can lose his powers. And that's why it has to be Dr. Octopus, so there could be tentacles. And that's why it has to be Black Cat.
Wait, you might be right. You might be onto something. They might have designed the final boss fight first, and then picked characters that can make that happen. Because there's no other way this makes any lick of sense.
No, not at all.
And wait, did you just send the tentacles through the portal?
Yeah, after he lands, the tentacles come in.
And didn't you rip one of them off?
Yeah.
But why are there three? Yeah, I'm gonna stop asking questions.
No, you're doing great. I'm proud of you.
I feel like I shouldn't be overthinking this.
Soon you won't be feeling anything.
It is cool how like the spider sense effect works on him as well. where he's like all like dodging in the giant suit.
Yeah.
This is just ridiculous.
Although the missiles are a little out of touch.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna add missiles to a giant robot, why not put just some machine guns on it too? And then he wouldn't have to do this stupid, like, web slam technique. That's really obviously telegraphed.
Also, I keep forgetting I can just use the decoy.
Yeah.
Like, I seriously forget about the decoy.
Why does this attack charge?
Oh.
Like, you can hear it charging up. I don't know if he'll be able to do it. No, he'll be able to do it again.
I'm the better man.
Like, watch, listen for it.
Shut up. I'll give you that. This is really a shame.
Cool.
It had to come down.
I thought you could like make them like go into him, but he'll just dodge him with the spider sense.
Yeah,
It would have been really cool though,
it would have.
because you do that earlier in the stage,
Here it
where
goes.
you like direct missiles.
You hear it charging up?
I heard a little bit of charging.
Yeah. That would have been a cool way to fight in the fight, though, if you had like a different stage with missiles.
Large and in charge.
Also, he gave me a hug. Oh right, I died. Holy crap, I forgot.
Death hug.
I forgot to cut that part out.
I'm squaring off against some kind of iron spider outfit. That sounds
We've
like
already been over this.
he really had confidence in his own speed and agility. He wouldn't be making with the heavy.
I mean, to be fair, he's probably over. Let's see, Spider-Man Amazing Fantasy 15 came out what, like 1970 something. 2099. All right, so he's 124.
Yours? Atrocity. I can use that.
He's doing pretty good for a 124-year-old man.
Yeah, I can understand why I'd want a wheelchair also.
Now, when I talk about wanting like a robot spider body, this is kind of what I have in mind.
I immediately thought about that. Like, this would be what Zarek would be if he had the choice.
In fact, was this whole video just so he could show me that this?
Yeah. This is all just one big way of saying I identify as a giant spider, and I would appreciate it if you would use the correct pronouns.
Also, I need the right bathroom.
I need one with urinals with lots of leg space.
Handicap stall is not big enough. There we go. Now I start using the damn decoy.
I remember this from a century.
Oh, now he remembers the atrocity.
Yeah.
Soon you won't be feeling any.
You remember the guy that actually started the time travel thing so he could take over the world? Remember at the very beginning of the game?
Oh yeah.
Because I had forgotten actually.
I don't remember what role he played in this whole this.
He fell into the atrocity with Dr. Octopus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that part. The iconic villain, that guy.
Can't beat me by yourself.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The storyline's a bit of a mess, so it's.
Shut up. I'll give you that.
Now, is it any more of a mess than a Doctor Who episode? You know the ones I'm talking about.
Half of them.
Those guys won.
You're wasting my time.
All right.
Any episode about the Doctor and how he's the most important person in the universe.
Half of them.
Okay. Really? Oh, that's a shame.
They've been putting a lot more in the more recent seasons.
You had no chance.
I always like when the Doctor's not the most important person in the universe. And he learns something.
When he's just some guy, he's like, okay.
That's what I like about Spider-Man. Spider-Man always feels like that guy.
What's happening?
Yeah, that's true. That's something I feel like they strive for. That's a very core part of Spider-Man.
Shock up. Okay, I get it. I'm zapping this squid and deep tentacling it as fast as I can.
And then I guess it's something hard you to put into the games.
Right. As shocked as I think. Peter, what's the holdup? Destroys everything. Let's hope it's 1 second.
I won't say the most disappointing part of this game, but one of the parts that is just very strongly disappointing for me is that the banter is just not up to snuff.
Oh no, yeah.
I say is to annoy you.
I feel like if you had any kind of... Like, there was a conversation between two Peter Parker Spider-Men there. They would have been dicks to each other.
Oh yeah. Like in the comics when like Miles and Peter are talking to each other.
Yeah.
Like they're not all buddy-buddy. They're like cracking off of each other super hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you're old. Hey, you're young and new. And, and I don't know. Spider-Man wasn't that good. I don't care if Bendis wrote it. I really don't think Spider-Man was a good like arc.
Yeah.
Putting Peter Parker in the Ultimate Universe doesn't work.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 is equally irritating.
Unnecessary sequels.
Here's a hot take. Zarek is mad about a comic book with the number 2 in it. Thank you.
All right. Now the timeline is full of tentacles. Oh my god, you have to fight this guy again. Did they interrupt your obnoxiously long boss fight with an obnoxiously long boss fight?
Yeah.
Ah.
But don't worry, now there are tentacles involved. So all the fangirls can swoon.
Great.
You can't win, you know.
Sometimes I would get distracted by the other fight going in the corner that looked like it's going a lot better than the one I was doing.
Here's what you would look like if you were good at this game.
So yeah, you have to web those again
Uh-huh.
right next to him, and then they stun him. A lot easier this time.
Well, that's good. Yeah, you're chewing through his life now.
Now you're starting to annoy me.
Still not the easiest thing to aim because the webbing is so like inconsistent, really.
Yeah. I feel like the camera would be a big problem with the controls here because it doesn't feel like it.
Agrees with you ever?
Yeah.
But hey, at least that phase is over super fast.
Yeah.
All right, but now what do I do? All the tentacles are gone.
And I can't hurt it.
However, do I actually handle this monster, this amalgamation of all of my greatest villains?
Well,
Who, now that I just look at him, has a very, very tiny right arm, and I feel bad for him.
underdeveloped, bud.
Maybe I could like throw these bricks at him. No, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That would have been cool, but now we don't have to.
Okay. They're just there because needed some set dressing.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe there's something I can. Okay, no more poles.
I get the impression
All of time is breaking around us.
that it took you a while to figure out what you were supposed to do.
All right, maybe. No? If only there was like a button prompt or anything. Because nowhere else in the game are you allowed to do what happens next.
I'm kind of curious what's gonna happen.
You go up and you start punching him.
No elegance,
No imagination, no elegance.
the whole face punching thing. Kind of fun.
You just punch him in the face.
And they pointed it out, like, but too late. Like,
Too late.
If they had pointed it out before, like if that line had played before you started punching him, it would have been wonderful. Mm-hmm. Because it would have been like, oh, he's making fun of it. Oh, and then you try it and it works. Like, oh, that was a nice hint.
Miguel, it's still out of control. You need to lock it down on your end. And if you do, actually, I don't know. What happens if you do? Then the backlash should collapse the quantum bridge and override
It's a shame they don't keep my costumes.
And don't say if.
But it does look like they put a lot of money into this.
Yeah.
Armor's starting to overheat. You can't control the energy. Just as I figured.
Yeah, that was clearly the plan.
The entire time you were always right about everything, Miguel.
The time storm has reached the ideal level for harvesting.
Yeah, time storms. Also, I just took a cue from the first one and just started punching him.
Well, it works.
The other partner.
Keep telling yourself that if it makes you feel better.
So guess what big attack he has now?
Laser?
Laser beam.
You're insane.
I'm not insane. I'm just
That's one thing that I associate with Spider-Man is laser beams.
Yeah.
Well, the sentry.
The eyes were always meant to shoot out giant lasers.
I mean, it's so obvious from the theme.
first thing
I want his Spider Slayer mech to turn into Leopardon.
That would make about as much sense as most of the other stuff that's happened in this game.
And then it does like the one-hit kill move because they lost the suit after just like the first week of production.
Oh yeah, you got a generated time paradox. Yeah.
Which I do. And then it just means that you can just keep hitting him. It doesn't actually like do anything special. It's not story plot relevant.
You know what I just noticed?
Yeah.
His boss name is CEO.
Yeah, right?
Like, that's what they came up with. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's the CEO.
Peter, what's the holdup? I don't know how long before the gate makes
It could even have said like Spider-Man. That would have been crazy.
this.
Really drove the point home, but no, CEO. He's not Spider-Man. He's corporate executive officer man,
No one to blame but yourself.
or whatever CEO stands for.
He's just wiped you out of existence entirely.
That's exactly what Spider-Man would do.
Yeah. Hey.
Yay!
You just
Now
got-
walk
nope.
away from explosion.
Cool guy explosion. Walk away.
I definitely should have picked the poison suits.
I love how slow that explosion is too.
It's a time explosion.
It took like 6 steps in the course of that explosion happening.
It's all back to normal.
Hey,
Okay, but if the timeline snapped back to normal, if none of it happened, how do you and I remember it? I mean, we've got 2 different sets of memories in our brains. Shouldn't that be making us, I don't know, crazy? Crazy? We already dress in skin-tight costumes and fight bad guys for free. Okay.
Let's just hand wave it.
yeah,
You want a 5-hour lecture on temporal paradoxes?
yes.
Sure, why not? As it turns out, looks like I have all the time in the world.
It sounds like the end of one of those animated series episodes.
Yeah, or the beginning of a horrible Groundhog Day nightmare.
And that was the game!
Yeah.
So what did we learn?
Okay.
Most Spider-Man games aren't very
Your
good.
theoretical studies were done by Reed Richards.
Oh no, we're getting our temporal dynamic paradox.
Not really ironic.
Oh, we are getting our lecture. They even did the chalkboard.
Completely different.
We're gonna have to sit here for 5 hours.
Yeah,
If you want to see all the credits, that's what you gotta do.
yeah, it's just like watching Mighty Number 9 all over again. Anyway, hey, it's him!
Yeah. Main character, cool guy, bad guy.
Yeah, the hero of our story, the tragic warrior put against his own choices and destiny.
Anti-Venom.
Bad puns, totally my thing.
Oh, man.
Anti-Venom.
I think it was like shortly after that, like he was also just like taking out the, like Anti-Venom was gotten rid of too.
Yeah. He was a terrible character. I'm sorry.
Oh look, it's Clone Cat.
Haha. That, I'm fairly certain human anatomy doesn't work that way.
Rob
Rob
Liefeldian.
Fieldline.
Yeah, Rob Fieldline. Rob Liefeldian.
Look at that.
Hey, look at that ass.
Look at
That's
that
how you know
butt.
it is.
That's ridiculous.
The tatas.
She's otherwise just a complete rectangle. Like her torso is just a rectangle.
Oh look, it's their concept art for the atrocity, which also might have just been an angry drawing he made at work one day.
Yeah.
And then they're like, let's go for it. He looks so hairy.
He does look very hairy.
Also, do you notice how they just stopped the talk about time paradoxes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't make that joke work any longer. Like, this is as far as we got. Dan Buckley. His name is on this.
Oh, here it is. Yeah.
Oh!
The math for the falling bits.
They had to explain it. Like, no, we knew it was a ridiculous amount of falling to be doing.
Yeah,
we just
6
made the building as tall as Mount Everest.
Yeah, 60 meters per second. All right, at 120 seconds at 7 seconds. It's great. Yeah,
Gotta
the tower
be.
is a lot smaller.
Gotta be as tall as Mount Everest. God.
Yeah, remember that weird looking like Mary Jane too?
Yeah.
What happened to her? Does she remember everything?
They're doing way too much, like, poking fun at their own plot holes in these credits. Like...
This is when they wanted to use the black suit.
Yeah. They always want to use the black suit. It doesn't make the game
Both
better.
of the games before this used the black suit.
It makes the game worse.
Shadow Dimensions and Web of Shadows. I don't know what this is.
Something about chicken and egg paradox, which came first.
Oh. Well, there's Spider-Ham.
Yeah.
I think that was another costume they wanted to use.
That would have been cool. I would have loved to have played this game in a Spider-Ham costume.
Yeah, there's a Spider-Ham 2099 too. You look very disappointed after I said that.
I really wish I could audibly convey my facial expressions.
Not only was there disappointment, but there was upset at the fact that I know that.
just another flavor of disappointment.
It almost looks like something, if Madame Web was an evil villain, she'd be like just coffined up in.
Yeah. Just strap my body onto the face of a giant robot spider.
Like when Doc Ock was dying. And he was just in that giant cephalopod mech. They used that mech in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon for a couple seasons.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There he is. There was the real bad guy.
He wears very high-collared shirts.
That guy cannot even remember his name.
Miguel scared of rats?
Does the future have rats?
Why did they feel that they needed to label the rat? I mean, I get Miguel.
Maybe it's a picture for scale. So you don't think that Miguel is... That was his name, Sloan.
Walker Sloan. Walker Sloan. Walker Sloan.
If you look at it backwards, it's Nalus. Oh, it's gone now. Never wear a tie again.
I don't
It's game development. No one wears ties.
get that. Was he... Oh, because he... No. No, I almost had it.
There's the final boss.
What?
Technically, that has 10 arms.
Yeah. But... And...
Yay, Beanox!
God damn it. Some of those jokes were just confusing. The ones I got weren't very funny, and the ones I didn't were just like... Whoa.
Also, the math behind them is incredibly wrong. It's not to the 21st power, it's to the 23rd power.
Oh, yeah. You can't forget that time is equal to t, which is the only thing they bothered to define.
Figure out the rest of it.
What the hell is m, then?
M is money. Less time equals more money.
J. Jonah Jameson's first wife, Joan, mother of... That was a hell of a sentence.
We unlocked hard mode.